Okay, all praise, glory, and honor is most certainly due to the Most High. The God of the patriarchs, I am Isaac, Jacob, and peace to you. In the name of His Son, I count it truly a blessing each and every time I can come before you, preach the word of God, and never count it as a light thing to do so. All right, brothers and sisters, I want to deal with a question that I just saw in the chat. In the email. And I'm going to read the question, and then I'm going to respond to it. It says, how do you deal with your wife that's not in the faith and want to celebrate pagan holidays? Do we'll leave the home on the, I guess he's saying, should I leave the home on these days or stay to keep the peace of the home? My wife is ready to divorce me because she says she tried, to support my beliefs, but she say it changed who she is as a person. I need help and prayer, my brother. I know Jesus can change anything, but my faith is wavering right now. I am trying to shake it. It's just a blow to me. Okay. So that comes up quite often. Peace to you, Brother Leo. It's good to see you there. Peace to you as well, brother. That comes up quite often, that when you come into faith, you're going to have some problems. Let's go to Matthew. Well, actually, yeah, let's go to Matthew. Because one thing, when you come on this walk, this is Matthew, the 10th chapter, because you said something key. You said that, should I stay and try to keep the peace? Well, can't be no peace in general. If you're worshiping one way and she's worshiping. That matter of fact, before I go here, let's just show you the importance of let's go to 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter. And just the importance for those who are not married and in the faith and desire to be married. Listen to this. 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter. And it says, verse 14, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Okay. So it's like the message that I read. That's the reason why you don't want to be with an unbeliever. Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? You are totally antithetical from one another as far as your approach to life. One is serving God, the other is not. Okay? It says, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? They can't come together. There's going to be a division there. He says, what concord hath Christ with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? Okay, so as a believer, again, what part have you with an infidel? An infidel is a non-believer. That's what an infidel is. Okay, so you don't have any part with them. So when you're married to that individual, now you have these problems. Okay, so now let's go to 1 Corinthians. That's just to those who are not married and desire and are in the truth and desire to be married. That's what you're going to be faced with. So you think about it. You got somebody in your house who's eating pork. You don't eat pork. They trying to bring swine in your house. They're trying to teach your kids, especially for men who are in the word, and because a lot of times men, if a woman has an initiative of what way she wants to take a kid spiritually, these men today will allow it, whatever it is. But on the other hand, you're going to be fighting and struggling and toiling as a man if you trying to keep your kids or try to bring your kids up in the truth, and she's dead set against it. Okay, you're gonna have some problems. 1 Corinthians is the 7th chapter, because you said she's ready to divorce you. Well, let's look at that. 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, and verse 10, it says, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. Okay, so this is separation. He said, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. Okay, I'm going to skip down a little bit. It says, verse 14, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. Peace to you, Brother Isaiah and MC Israel. It says, but if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God hath called us to peace. But see, it can't be peace if the person don't want to dwell with you. Okay, then they don't want to dwell with you. Okay. Let's pick it up at verse 13. It said, and the woman, because that's what I should have read, verse 13, and the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Verse 12, but to the rest I speak not of the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Okay, so, but she not pleased to dwell with you. She want a divorce. If she want a divorce, let her go. You can't force nobody to be with you, particularly now in this age. You can't force a woman to stay with you. She don't want to be with you. Let her go. Peace to Brother Tavion. It's good to see you there, brother. Let her go. Kick rocks. I don't understand. And let's go to another part of your question. You said, do I leave the home? What? Let's go to Ephesians. We have a huge problem today. Man, listen. Let's look at it. Ephesians 5th chapter, verse 22. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. It said, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Okay? So as a man, that's you worried about that because you don't know your role. I'm gonna just be honest. You are the head of the household. Why should you leave? Why should you leave a house because trying to appease your wife that's in some folly? No, stand flat-footed in what you believe. Stand flat-footed in what you believe. Adhere to what thus saith the Lord. Put forth your program. And if she does not want to be a part of that program, tell that woman, if you want to go, kick rocks. You ain't forcing out, because again, if she want to dwell with you, but she's supposed to be following you. And if she don't want to do that, get the hell on. That's just what it is. Don't sit there crying. Don't say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose my faith. When you going to go to hell for some woman who don't believe? You better save yourself from this untoward generation. Your wife ain't got no lake of fire to put you in. She can leave you, divorce you, put you through the ring, stay, hold fast, keep the faith, and you mess around, have another wife that is totally committed. But don't be dismayed because somebody gonna leave you. What did Job say? Naked I came into this world, naked shall I return hither. The Lord had given, the Lord have taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That's when he lost everything. So if she want to go, get out. Y'all act like it's, man. Men today, y'all better get a clue. I'm going to get a divorce. I'm going to leave. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Okay. Why are you being broken by that? Let's go to Matthew the 10th chapter. Matthew the 10th chapter. I want to pick it up at verse 34 because you said, should I leave to have peace? It can't be peace. It can't be. Listen, that's your household. As a man, you directed the way in which you should go. If she want to leave, she can leave. But understand, when you with an unbeliever, it can't be no peace. The Messiah, the Mashiach, he didn't come to bring peace. Matthew the 10th chapter, verse 34, he said, think not that I am come to send peace. This is the master saying this. This is the Messiah. He said, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. There's a division there, and there is going to be division. Why? Because y'all are unequally yoked. He said, for I'm come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. So your own enemies. So when he says a variance, that means you're at odds with one another. He said he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross. You say you have audio problems. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Submission to aid and support under one mission. No, who told you that? Who told you that? Let me go back a little bit. I don't know what let me see this view. You said submission to aid. Tavion on this job. Under one mission. Yeah. Listen. Bottom line. Thank you. Bottom line. I don't know when I went out, but okay. Thank you. Look, you can't have peace in your household if your spouse and you are unequally yoked. There's not gonna be peace. And the man had to have a mission in the first place, a vision and a mission for his household, for his family, and what he's trying to go in life. If she not down, what's her purpose? She not functioning even in her role. You might not be functioning in your role because you worry about what the hell she think. Don't worry about what she think. You stay the course, stand flat-footed in what you're doing. And if she want to go. Because you think about it. She the one, if you doing what you're supposed to do as a man, if you following God and some woman don't want to be with you, thank you, brother. If a woman don't want to be with you and you doing that, that's her loss. People say that all the time. Your loss, but no, that's her loss for real. If you a man, do what you're supposed to do. And you a righteous man, upright man, serving the Lord. And a woman talking about, well, I'm going to leave you. Get on. That's like somebody saying, you offering them all this wealth, hypothetically, and they saying, well, I don't know if I want to take it. You're not doing me no favors. I'm actually doing you a favor. Do you know how rare straight up men who are straight up men and righteous are? That's pretty rare. That's pretty rare. Just like it's rare for you to find a good woman that will submit to your program, that is following God. That's in a virtuous woman. That's rare. So if you know what you're supposed to do, you shouldn't be worried about nobody talking about what they're gonna leave you. That's crazy to me. But it says again, in verse, pick it up in verse 34, it says, think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I'm come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes or enemies shall be they of his own household. You can't have peace. Okay? Don't lose your faith because you trying to. That's why I say, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Who do you love more, your wife or your God? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Who do you love more, your wife or your God? He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Again, I've seen people do that. They worry about so much with their kids, accepting that they lose their faith or potentially lose their faith. Shedding tears over what some kid don't want to do, or what their mom and daddy don't want to do. Listen, that's nothing. That's nothing. Even compared to eternal life, losing a relationship with a spouse, losing a relationship with a parent, losing a relationship with a friend or a family member, that's losing a job, losing even your life. That's actually nothing compared to what you're going to get. He said, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. Okay? So, you y'all got it, man. Let's go to another place. Let's go to Matthew, the 19th chapter. Because what are you trying to get? Is your whole purpose in this life to get a spouse? Is and live happily ever after? No, that's not your purpose in life. As a man, that could be part of it as far as building your household. But that's not your purpose. Okay? Now, let's go to Matthew 19 and verse 27. Because Peter asked a question about the reward. What is ultimately, in general, what is this about? This says, then answered Peter, I'm in verse 27, Matthew 19 and 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? 28. And Jesus said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Now he said, take up your cross and follow me. We read that. But the cross, yes, that's how the cross is a death too. Meaning be willing to give everything up, even your life. You look at his example. He was willing to give up his life in order to serve the Most High. Look at Job's example. He lost everything. He lost his house. He lost his progeny, his children. He lost his wealth. He lost his health. Then his wife came to him and said, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. What did he tell her? You speak as a foolish woman speaketh. Okay, let me say something to you. Let me say something. Let me clear something up real quick. Submission on a woman is to submit to her husband, period. Period. You can't, okay, so a lot of times people say, well, and that's how they get out of not doing it. If he do this, such and such, it ultimately equates to if I agree with what he's saying, then I'm going to submit, which is actually not submission at all. Okay? So the Bible tells you that a woman is supposed to submit to her husband as she's submitting to the Lord. That's how serious it is. So for a man, even if he don't know, she's still supposed to be submitted to that man. A man not knowing his role, that's how you can tell that how men behave with their women. Like even when you look at what Adam did. Adam said, the woman that thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the fruit and I did eat. But Adam knew better. Why are you following your woman? Your whole household is supposed to be following you. And you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Because oftentimes it is in the very nature of, just so you understand, a woman's in a position to submit. That is a very vulnerable position to be in. So a lot of times a woman particularly will test you to see what she can get away with, see if you're even willing to submit to. And you got all kind of contention. And men, not being men, scared of contention with a woman. A woman that can't whoop you, but you scared for whatever reason to be deprived for whatever she had to offer, just peace in the home, whether it be intimacy, whatever it is, you scared of losing that. So you want to please your woman. Forget all that. Forget all that. Because eternal life is what's more important. Look, you tell that woman what you want in your household, and she can get with her program, or she can do what she got to do. But don't be compromising in that. What are you teaching her? Because I done seen this. A woman is outright crazy. But then, and the man come in the word, hit the word, and then what does she do? She actually convert and start serving the Lord. So you're not setting a good example and capitulating to what she's talking about. And a woman who's not submitting and want to submit with condition is not setting a good example, because you can convert him through your behavior. You can convert him. He can see your example and be converted. And see, that's what people don't realize. That's what people don't realize. But back in let's go to hold on one second. I want to read something here. Let me read something here, because people don't really understand. Hold on one second. Give me a second. Oftentimes you say, I'm gonna submit, but they don't really mean to submit. No, you need to submit. Let's go to 1 Peter. And nothing in society today is telling a woman that she needs to do that, but that's what she needs to do. She totally out of pocket telling you what she ain't gonna do in your house. 1 Peter, let's go to 1 Peter, the 3rd chapter. One time, well, I ain't gonna do this. This changed me. You better change it. Get on. 1 Peter, the 3rd chapter, and verse 1. He said, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. The conversation is your conduct, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Okay? But see, you don't even, that takes humility. That's a whole nother thing. But now back to Matthew the 19th chapter. So Matthew the 19th chapter and verse 28. Because Peter asked, what shall we have? He said in verse 28, Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So he tells the 12, that's talking about the 12 apostles or disciples. Then he says, and every one that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake, meaning you done gave it all up in one form or another for his name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. See, you're going to lose your faith and wavering in your faith about some woman? You know how many women on the planet? You gonna lose your faith over a woman that is replaceable. Let's go to the last place, Ecclesiastes. Because I talked about your purpose here. Your purpose here is not that, I gotta get a woman, be with her. Y'all watch too much TV. Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, and verse 13. Because what's your overall purpose? He said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. This is the universal principle or purpose for man, is to be obedient unto them, not to please your woman. This happy life, happy wife crap, throw that out your mind. Because you want to please her and her foolishness, end up going to hell. She be right there with you. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with everything, whether it be good or whether it be evil. You cannot, I said that's the last place. We're going to go to another place. You cannot justify your woman in her falsehood, excuse me. and her false worship. Let's go. Let's see an example of how that can get you messed up. 1 Kings, the 11th chapter. 1 Kings, the 11th chapter and verse 1. It said, but King Solomon loved many strange women. That strange means foreign women. Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. Verse 2, of the nations which concerning the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you. And he tells you why you don't want to deal with these women. He said, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. Now I said, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. So what did he do? It said, and it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. You can't, man, it's a Christmas tree in your house. You at home, you come home, she put a Christmas tree in your house. Take the Christmas tree, throw it out the door. Take the Christmas tree, throw it out the door. Kick it over, throw it out the, you can't have no peace. You can't have no peace. Why you say, I don't know what to do. Should I just say, I'm going to just leave my own house so somebody can worship falsely in it? It's your house. If you're a man, it's your house. Now, if you done moved in with her, that's a whole nother issue. I don't know why you brothers do that. I do know why. So you have a place to stay. Establish your own house or you move a woman into it. But then it said, and then it says here, in verse 6, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, and the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. And the Lord was angry with him. And what happened? Hey, he split the kingdom. The kingdom was split in two. Once he died, his son Rehoboam took over, the kingdom was split in two. Jeroboam in the north, Rehoboam in the south. Why? Because of what Solomon did. And one thing about it, brothers and sisters, I don't know for sure. So I can't say, but I don't see where certain people is gonna be in the kingdom. I don't see that for Solomon. Not saying he's not. I'm saying I don't see it. That's the consequence. You'll ruin your household, ruin your life, mess around and lose on salvation because you're trying to please a woman. Do not trying to please a woman. Do not do that. Following your woman can be your downfall. Following a woman led to man down. We've been dying ever since because Adam did not check his wife. He went right along with it. The Bible says he was not deceived. Like the brother says, he's in the faith. So clearly he knows better than her. Why you worried about what she thinking? Why you following her? Can't stress that's enough. And I can't stress not being in pain about it either. Why you in pain? That's like having a dozen donuts and one donut fall on the floor. Oh no, what am I to do? You got 11 other donuts. These women are replaceable. People are replaceable. Ain't nobody irreplaceable. It's a song, irreplaceable. Or are you replaceable? You're not irreplaceable. That's true. Don't ever think that you're irreplaceable. That's true. Your job will show you replaceable. People get divorced all the time. Guess what? They be with somebody else. So yeah, don't lose your salvation over what she's talking about. With that, brothers and sisters, I want to imagine we're at the Household of Faith. We are open. We meet every Sabbath, which is Saturday, at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We live stream right here on the Israel Teach YouTube channel, as well as at www.israelteach.org. What else? We have Bible study every Friday night on Zoom. We have a Bible study every Friday night on Zoom. And the personal meeting ID number for Zoom is 602-961-1318. Again, that number is 602-961-1318. That's our Zoom Bible study every Friday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you've been edified through the ministry and would like to leave a donation, you can do so on our website, www.israelteach.org. 100% of the proceeds go to the work of the ministry. And finally, there are books that I've written for your edification that are available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and other places where books are sold. Enter Egypt Begin with Ships, Pagan Origins of Christian Holidays, Killing Black Innocence, the program to control African American reproduction from slavery's end to present-day self-inflicted genocide. Hair Like Wool, Feet Like Burned Brass, The Color of Jesus and Burning Truths Concerning the Messiah. For then shall be great tribulation, and In Defense of Biblical Polygyny. All these books are available, again, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other places where books are sold. With that, brothers and sisters, don't lose your faith because of an individual. Save yourselves from this untoward generation.